Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And thank you for joining me for another office hours training. And just as a reminder, part of my job as a strategist is to help you have some aha moments, self discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release it. All that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where the shift starts to happen. That's where the magic is, be it in your personal finances or in your overall business. So this past Monday, I started training on identity and impact, mastering self, business, and customer engagement, specifically around startup or first phase businesses that have products that you make typically at home or in some shared space. And I went in a little bit on why these businesses. Part one is who you are, was Monday. And part two, what is your business, was yesterday. Under what is your business, I covered the mission statement, the vision statement, product write ups, and why you should be using AI in your business every single day. Go back and watch those trainings for more insight. So, today we're going to talk about culture, the brand, and the reputation. So, the definition of the culture, the set of behavioral and procedural norms that can be observed within a company, which includes its policies, procedures, ethics, values, employee behaviors, attitudes, goals, code of conduct. And if you haven't defined your company culture yet, start today. And if you have defined it, it's time to reevaluate. Why? Because the culture is important. It shapes the entire ecosystem within which your employees operate, affecting their business, motivation, and ultimately the performance of the organization. So it's not just an internal affair. It permeates through every aspect of your business, influencing interactions, customer service, brand reputation, and the overall success of your company. It is a critical factor in your company's long-term sustainable growth. So here are some things to consider when you're talking about the culture of your organization. And before I get into things to consider, it doesn't matter if it's just you, if you have 10 employees, or if you have 20, the culture matters. And so I talked about your vision and your mission yesterday. And you want to make sure that the staff is clear on that. But it's important to understand and establish and communicate clear values and vision. So most people start out with a vision and mission statement. But what about your company's core values? They should reflect what's important to your company. One of the companies I own is Amazing Woman Network. And it was created to unite and empower Black women globally under these core values: reclaiming personal power, mind, body, and spirit, reclaiming financial power, and increasing our social involvement. We encourage every Black woman to own, honor, and execute her amazing. That is the culture of the company. Those are our core values, right? Those are the core values of the Amazing Woman Network. And actually, those are my core values just in general. And all of the companies I own kind of resonate within that, and they fit within those core values. Foster open and effective communication. One of the fastest ways to kill your business is ineffective communication. You want transparency and two-way feedback. You want your staff to feel comfortable coming to you for issues, concerns, and ideas. Part of that open and effective communication is also speaking life into your staff. Years ago, when I worked for, I managed a processing team at, at, at one of the larger banks at that time. And they, however, mm, they did okay in the mortgage space. And I managed a mortgage processing team. And there was this whole entire reorganization going on. And, it's always interesting when you have a company and a reorg is going on, or they're creating new policies and procedures, that they don't come and ask the individuals who do the work every single day. And so they were implementing these changes, and really and truly, the changes weren't working. And staff would come to me, and they got an early understanding that they could not just walk up and start to complain, right? They needed to tell me something else. We're going to talk about your kids for a minute. We're going to talk about, what's happening in your life, what's happening outside of here, to get that stress level down so that we can really have a great conversation. But also because I genuinely cared about my staff. And I used to tell them, listen, the system is broken, right? You can't do so much, you know, skip your lunch, skip your breaks to try to catch up because the system is broken. And then I would also make a point that I'm speaking life into those staff and my entire staff. If it was a reprimand that needed to happen, I didn't need to do the reprimand. All I needed to do was go stand near them, and they would walk me through the process and tell me what happened and tell me what was going on and what they would do in order to fix whatever their issue had been. And so it was open communication, but I made sure that I spoke life into them, and that they believed and saw that I cared more than about just the numbers or just the job that they did, that I actually cared about them and their families, which were extensions of them. So another thing to consider is invest in employee development and well-being. Provide growth and learning opportunities, and prioritize work-life balance. That work-life balance thing is crucial, especially if you have single parents working with you. That work-life balance is really, really important. And if you care about your staff and you care about their work-life balance, that's going to go a long way with them. If you are a solopreneur, or if it's just, mom and pop, prioritize your own work-life balance. Your staff will love you for it and will probably stay with the company for a long time. So let's talk about brand. What's the brand of your company? So company's brand is a distinctive set of perceptions, emotions, and attitudes that people associate with the company, which differentiates it from its competitors. So it's not just a logo, a tagline, or a product, right? It is a complex mix of elements that create an identity and reputation in the minds of the public. So if you're just starting out your business, you want to reevaluate your business brand. And here are some things to consider. And really and truly, whether you're starting out now or you're going back and you've been in business for a while, again, reevaluation helps with elevation, right? So here are a few things to consider. Visual identity. This includes logos, color schemes, design, and packaging. What visually distinguishes your company from others. So my color schemes from all of my companies, except for United Community Solutions, is black, gold, and white, right? Black represents power and sophistication. It's a nod to strength inherent in informed financial decisions. White symbolizes clarity and purity, reflecting my commitment to transparent and honest guidance. And gold, the color of wealth and success, embodies my core aim of leading you towards financial prosperity. So that's a visual identity for not only Crystal Gunn, but for the Amazing Woman Network, the House in Order campaign, SMART, Single Mothers Are Rising and Thriving, for AWN Cares, right? United Community Solutions, because it's about community. It's red, black, and green are the primary colors of that logo. But black, white, and gold, that's my color scheme. And so when people see that, they can associate those colors with me because that's what they see out in the public. That is what they see in social media. That is what they see on websites. So visual identity. And my logos, I try to make sure my logos pop enough. And I think all of my logos are in circular format, right? Things coming full circle. So what's your visual identity and how can people distinguish your company from other companies based off that visual identity? This is a huge one for me, and it's customer experience. It's more than just customer service, it's customer experience. This is how customers perceive their interactions with the company. A positive, consistent experience strengthens the brand, right? Chick-fil-A, for example, has a great customer experience, right? Typically, when you think of great customer experiences, you think of high-end retail stores or high-end restaurants. Chick-fil-A isn't a high-end restaurant, right? It's a fast food restaurant, but their customer experience is really, really great. I don't care if you go through the drive-through or if you walk inside, the customer experience is great. What is the customer experience like for your business? Bad customer experience is another way to kill your business. We see a lot of times people are quicker, right? They're quick to the draw on posting bad reviews. They'll post bad reviews faster than they will post good reviews, right? So that customer experience is important. There needs to be extensive training. It's not enough just for your staff or you to understand and know the policy and the procedures. Part of that whole policy and procedure and training needs to be about the customer experience. Why? Because you want those customers to come back. Why? Because you want those customers to get great reviews, right? The better their experience, the longer their relationship with you will be. Brand communication. Brand communication includes advertising, public relations, and how the company communicates. It shapes the narrative and the voice of the brand. Not sure about your brand communication? Pull together a focus group and ask for their honest opinions. Make sure they'll be honest and they truly want you to win. And these may not be the people who are closest to you, right? But pull together that focus group and say, hey, look at these different things. Tell me what you see all about my brand. Create the questions, but pull it together. You may want to reward them with doing something, I don't know, percentage off or a free gift or whatever. But you want that open and honest feedback so that you can start to correct anything that is wrong, but also so that you understand the things that you're doing right. Because we need to celebrate the things that we're doing right. Remember I don't know if it was Monday or yesterday, where I talked about whenever I have an event, definitely when I host an event where it's the meeting after the meeting, that I'm looking at what did we do great? What did we do in excellence? Right? That's always the first question. What was done in excellence? Okay, let's celebrate that. What was done good? We know what was done good, but then after that, how do we make sure that we're doing the good in excellent, further elevation? And then where did we fail? Even if the attendees didn't know that it was a fail, we know. So what was the fail? And what do we then do to ensure that that fail never happens again? And again, elevating to working in excellence. So that focus group is going to be a great way for you to start seeing what's great about your company and where you need to improve. So now let's talk about reputation. Reputation is the public perception of the company and how it operates. Here are some things to consider. Customer experience. Talked about that right before this, understand how customers interact with your brand at every touch point, from initial awareness through post purchase support. So when someone comes and now they've bought your product, their experience should not end there, right? What's the follow-up emails that they get, the thank yous for purchasing, then letting them know, hey, here's, because you made your purchase, here's 10% off your next purchase. And that may not be what you do, but I'm just saying, what is the post-purchase support and interaction? If they need to return something, if they have questions, what does that process look like? So often we're quick to get to the purchase. Okay, well, now I sold you the item, you bought the thing, you downloaded the thing, we're done. What's the relationship? Because if they purchase from you once and the customer experience was great, the product or the service was great, 9 times out of 10, they're going to purchase from you again and again and again. But you need to stay top of mind that post-purchase support and action and experience has to be operating in excellence. Feedback and reviews. Regularly monitor and assess customer feedback, reviews, and testimonials. Use the feedback and testimonials. When you get testimonials, you want to use them. Figure out some social media marketing around them, but you want to use the testimonials and the feedback. If you get bad feedback, address it. Not in a way that is argumentative, right? But you want to address it. How can you make it right? And even if you're doing that on social media, you still want to address it, because if they've commented on social media, you want to address it that way, but you want to own it, apologize. How can you make it better? Because what it does is that person who posted that bad review, they're going to feel better about it. They're going to feel better about coming back to you, especially because you tried to make it right. But in addition, people who are reading the reviews are going to see your response. They're going to see the way that you handled it. Everybody can't get everything right 100% of the time. However, how do you respond when you get it wrong? Do you own it, or do you make mistakes? Do you get defensive, right? And if you're just starting out and you don't have product or service testimonies yet from people in the outside world, focus group, or go back to people that you've impacted some part of their life, or they've tested something, and get their testimonials and reviews and use those things. One of the things that I had to do just recently was I needed some personal testimonies for something. So I sent out an email and was blown away by the personal testimonies that I had, that they sent back. So if you don't have those now because you're just starting out, or because it's something else that you're launching and trying to do, or you've been at this thing and you just never paid attention to those things, go back and get them. Ask people for them. Ask another focus group so that you can get the feedback and the testimonials that you then can use on your website, in your marketing, etc. So online reviews and ratings. Again, reputation. Monitor and manage your online reviews. Responding professionally to both positive and negative reviews can positively impact your reputation. Social media management. Whew. It is a thing, right? Use social media platforms to engage with your audience, share valuable content, and address concerns or questions properly. It's a rhythm. It is a rhythm. It is a rhythm. It is a rhythm. Right? And it's probably one of the things that I work constantly to get better at. I don't have somebody designated for social media engagement. So it's me doing a lot of that. So automatic systems work really well for me. Being able to have the content, but it's all about getting the content somewhere. Having those systems where you can schedule posts, stories, reels, videos, that is top tier for me because it helps with being consistent, right? And then you just have to pick a time during the day that says, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to review these things. Now, I have several different platforms because I have several different companies. If you just have yours, you may want to put on a a notification that sounds when you get a comment so that in a certain amount of time, you can go back and respond to that comment. Another thing to consider is employee advocacy and satisfaction. Your employees, or you, if it's just you, but your employees are your brand ambassadors. Ensure that they are satisfied, well treated, and aligned with your brand values, as their interactions with customers and public opinions can influence your reputation. You cannot say, oh, well, that was just that individual, and that be it. That individual works for your company. I used to, some years ago, oh God, maybe 8, 9 years ago, I used to manage a nonprofit, and it was a national brand, family owned business. And the people in corporate were not nice people. They were condescending. They weren't always honest. They did not always treat people right. And sometimes the father, who was the one who founded the organization, would, ask certain questions, and, staff would tell them the real thing or how something happened. And yet, the way that the staff at corporate continued to interact, it just never changed. And you cannot make me believe that if he truly thought that the staff was out of line for being condescending, for being mean, for not telling the truth, if he thought that they were out of line for that and believed they were out of line for that, then there would have been change, right? Your staff can't continue to be a certain kind of way, and you as the owner, or you as the president, or you as the CEO, you don't address it. Because if it continues to happen, my thought was, oh, this is the culture of the company. This is the brand. This is what you do. This is the reputation. And it just wasn't our office here. It was in the offices around the nation. They all said the same thing. So your employees are your brand ambassadors. You want to make sure that they are sending a message to customers and public, right, that fits your brand and your culture of your company. And if you don't have staff yet, you want to make sure when you start to hire staff that there's a clear understanding of that, right? Better do it up front than to come back for somebody to say, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that, right? And yesterday I talked a lot about AI. Go back through all of those things and look back at them and have AI help you with those things. So the culture, the brand, and the reputation, take a hard look at them for your company. Constant evaluation is key so you become better today than you were yesterday. So while we're talking about brand management and all of this type of stuff, you know, let's talk about my favorite thing. My favorite thing today is high level. High level really and truly saved me from losing my mind. So high level is the first ever all-in-one platform that will give you the tools, support, resources you need to succeed, right? And so as you look at this slide, you will see all of the things down here. You probably can't see them really well, but you will see, let me see if I just do this. Still can't see it that good, but you will see what high level did, and it was really ingenious, is they looked at uh, um, all of these other tools that companies were using, right? So remember I said I had 4 companies, so every one of those companies had a different website, right? And I was paying for hosting on every one of those websites, those different websites. Well, 2 of them I have rebuilt in high level. One of them I cannot rebuild until after our event in February. And then the fourth one, I'm not sure on whether or not that I will do that. But just on moving those two, just on getting rid of my the account that I use for mailers, right? Just from getting rid of the account that I used for my 800 numbers for those companies, I'm putting all of that in high level. I'm paying less for my monthly high level membership than I did for all of those combined, right? In addition, I was able to create 2 additional websites in there that I did not have before, right? It gives you unlimited funnels, unlimited websites. You can create unlimited email automations, unlimited automations. I have some things that I had automations for, right? Some subscription programs that there were automations for. And the service that I was using originally capped you at the number of automations you could have. So I literally was able to move this thing over, and now I have unlimited automations on that thing for everything. It's forms that that you can create. So then people, fill out a form because they wanted a thing or they had a question, and you can set off that automation. I just was at an event and collecting business cards. I'm going to plug those email addresses into this system, and and assign it to the automation that's already there, and it kind of introduces them to me, in a slow drip fashion. You can do text campaigns. Again, I said phone numbers, your 800 number through there. I'm probably only not probably I'm only using this system 1% of 1% of what this system can do. And the amazing thing is, you can they're bringing on new things every single week. Get it, the link is in the bio. Go watch the video. I'm telling you, it was a lifesaver for me. The other thing that it did was it helped me to think, right? I like technology that also helps me to think. What I mean by it helps me to think, it helps me to create different ways to communicate with individuals, again, to stay top of mind. They got calendars in there. You can, uh, request payments, recurring payments, all of those things. It's all there in the system. The one thing that does not do at this point is, it's not like a Shopify. So if it's a retail brand, that really, all of the other stuff you can do, but I still, Amazing Woman Network has a retail line, and I still use Shopify for that, just because it's robust enough, and that's specifically how that was created. So check the link in the bio. Get it. I'm telling you, you'll lose your mind. You can get all of the training in the back office. Plus, if you just need to speak to somebody, you can click that button and you can get a live person. You can do a Zoom. You can share your screen. It absolutely has just taken everything for me to a whole nother level, because I have it all in one place. So that is my favorite thing for today, is high level. So let's talk about that. 3 things that you need to do now. Remember, life is about elevation. It's not a journey. I'm sorry, it is a journey. It's not just a destination. So the next steps that I give you are part of that journey. It's taking the journey one step at a time, so you get the most of it. You break it down into smaller bites. It's easier to swallow. So it's why I break these things down into small steps. So what are those next steps for today? Review your company culture, review your company brand, and review your company reputation. If you don't know your company culture, create it. What is it and how is it that you want your company culture to be, right? Start thinking about it. It's important. Again, whether it's just you, and hopefully at some point you want to hire other staff. So you want to be grounded in what your company culture is. Review your company brand. What does it look like? How do people see it? Review your company reputation. What are you seeing? Again, remember, use some focus groups for this. It's going to help you. You make sure that they're telling the truth. And remember, it may or may not be those people that are closest to you. And use AI. Use AI. Ask it questions. Use it to help you think. What should I be doing with? Right? Because it's going to go and it's going to do some research. What should I be doing if, what should I be considering over the next 2 years with my business? And you plug in what that business is. It's going to spit out some things. Again, you're using it as a partner to help make you think and to help make your business better. Constant evaluation leads to constant elevation. If this information has been helpful to you, please make sure you follow my page, subscribe, and turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training. And also, if you are in need of personal financial strategy or business strategy, let's talk about it. Go to crystalgunn.com and schedule a consultation. So as we wrap up for today, always remember, please, give yourself some grace. Keep striving and never, ever give up on you. It's rough out there. But, I was at an event today and one of the panelists said, we, in Black people specifically, have overcome everything. We continue to strive, even though we know that in a lot of cases, the deck is stacked against us. We continue to do that. So give yourself some grace on all of the things that you're trying to do and you may not know. You didn't do it today, do it tomorrow. But give yourself some grace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Join me for the private Q&A. The link is in the description. And remember, in all things you do, make it absolutely amazing. See you on Tuesday. Nope, see you Monday. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.